So almost 62 meters of mineralisation. That lends itself to a nice thick lens, open pittable, easy to get at, and recovery-wise, similar to what we'd expect to find in San Domingo. So we've got ourselves a tiger by the tail in many ways.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Ian Stalker, Executive Chairman of Bradda Head Lithium. Ian, very good to speak with you again. The last time we spoke was back in January, and it was about your strategic partnership with Rio Tinto's Kennecott division. What's the latest update on Whistlejackets and how are things progressing?
The news is good, Stephen, and it's good to be here. We consummated our deal with Rio. Took a reasonable amount of time, and I had to be very quiet during that interim period, as you can imagine. We can't say too much, but we finally signed a deal in March of this year. We announced it in the early part of April, and I'm delighted to say that we have had our kickoff meeting in terms of moving forward on the Whistlejacket project just a couple of weeks ago in this month of April as well. So we are all systems go. We're very happy with what we've got from Rio. I think it's an endorsement for Bradda, the fact that a company the size of Rio took the time to investigate us, make sure they were comfortable with us, and take us on board for this ride with the Whistlejacket project and our own, of course, at San Domingo. And so, we're set fair for the sail ahead. Looking forward to it.
How does this asset line up with the rest of Bradda Head's portfolio, Ian?
Look, that's what got our attention. It's obviously within sort of 14 kilometres or so as the crow flies, a little bit longer on the roads that take you around there. But bear in mind, America is not short of infrastructure. I very rarely mention it in my interviews because it's a given. So we get access to both their project Whistlejacket and our own San Domingo, both pegmatite projects, both with good lithium spodumene bearing mineralisation in it. And so we can manage from a strategic point of view, a single office, a single group of people running the show. The core shed is within Wickenburg, which is our sort of location going forward. So synergy wise, it's been perfect. And the other thing that got his attention, of course, was the quality of the project, Stephen, because at the end of the day, that's what drives it. You can have a team of people that should be competent, naturally, and I believe we are, but the quality of the project is what really makes the difference. And so if I say to you the work that we had done in San Domingo, and being a junior, of course, we have to put the press releases out. We have to let people know what we're doing. It's just part of our business. And it's important that we're not hiding anything either, as the AIM rules would prevent us doing that. But Rio didn't have to do that. So when we went in and had a look at their database, this is how it compares. And it's a nice way to look at it. We put out an intersection in San Domingo that was over 30 meters at about 1.4% Li2O. It was a great intersection, but it was one. It was actually at the time the sixth best intersection in the world, worldwide. So it was a pretty good intersection. When we started to look at what was in the Whistlejacket story, I can tell you we put out a little note just a week or so ago, 51 meters. Not 30 odd, 51, followed by another 10, so almost 62 meters of mineralisation. That lends itself to a nice thick lens, open pittable, easy to get at, and recovery-wise, similar to what we'd expect to find in San Domingo. So we've got ourselves a tiger by the tail in many ways. Before we took the project on, I think it's important for people to recognise that it's not just a willingness from us to get excited about a project. We brought in an independent geologist, naturally, to give us, I feel like, an unbiased report of what we're looking at. And funnily enough, his numbers on the way, what he saw present, sort of was more or less confirmatory to what we had thought. So between the two projects, which is how you asked the question, Stephen, the San Domingo and our project now in Whistlejacket, we have a story to tell and a project to run and an opportunity of bringing a mine into production in the not too distant future.
Ian, how do you view this acquisition in the context of the current lithium market?
Look, that's what's changed in reality. Had it been the same lithium market of a year ago, we probably wouldn't have made any headlines whatsoever. But the lithium price in terms of the spodumene concentrate, which is our end product in this particular project, has gone from $500 a tonne to about $2,500 a tonne. The prognosis in general is that the current lithium price is at a minimum sustainable and potentially liable to get tighter and therefore see a greater growth in the selling price of your lithium as a concentrate. So look, there are more demands, less supply, which is always good for someone who's looking to come into the market as soon as we can. So I think we've got not only a good project and a good project in America. Remember, it's not in some unfortunate part of the world where there's excess challenges outside of just finding a mine. We're in the right part of America. We've got interest from the American government, etc., in helping us. And we've got the quality project associated with Rio, no small company, and ourselves. So we have a delivery that I think will excite not only our existing shareholders, but new ones who want to come on.
So Ian, what should investors be looking for from Bradda Head in the next 6 to 12 months?
We have announced we have following the meeting we had with Rio, we've said that we're moving forward with the exploration program. And just as a segue from that comment, one of the things that's changed in America in the last relatively short while, I'll say 6 months, but maybe plus or minus a couple of months either side of that, is that the licensing permitting departments within the bureaucratic state departments that are essential for work getting done have had a new directive, and that is to get moving. So previously, where we were asked for, say, permitting over at our lithium and clays at the Basin project, we would be suggested it could be 6 to 8 months and sometimes longer. Now we're told we will have permits out in our hands between 6 and 8 weeks, which is why I can now say that we're moving forward with our exploration plans. The funding is in place. There's no desire or need for us to go out and raise any funds. That exploration will going. So going forward, there'll obviously be these announcements that we have to confirm that we are underway and the number of meters we're going to do, etc., etc. And the intention behind it, by the way, which is to get to a compliant resource, a 43101, which is the TSX methodology of ensuring that the market knows that you have a real definable resource in the ground. We will aim to get that out by the end of the year, end of this calendar year. But in the interim, of course, there'll be the results that come out as the results come from the laboratory. So we'll be making sure the market understands what we've got, where we're going, and how well it's going. So I think there's going to be enough information that coming out to keep people interested in Bradda Head.
Well, it sounds like you've definitely got Tiger by the tail, Ian. I hope you'll keep us posted on any progress.
I will do. It's a good time to be in lithium, good time to be in the USA, and a good time to be in the AIM market. So I hope we get some attention to ourselves.
Thanks very much. That's Ian Stalker, Executive Chairman of Bradda Head Lithium.